Everyone thinks the AI race just reached a peak. GPT 5.6 dropped. Claude Fable 5 and Opus 5 dropped. Qwen 3.8, Kimi K3, Grok 4.5, GLM 5.2, all in the same few weeks. That should have been enough for one summer. It wasn't, because none of that was the ending. It was the trailer. The real thing is still coming. Gemini 3.5 Pro, DeepSeek V4-Pro, Kimi K3.1, Fable 5.1, GLM 5.5, MiniMax's new 2.7 trillion parameter monster, Tencent's next Hunyuan, Grok 4.6 and 4.7. That's just the next few months. After that, the real giants show up, DeepSeek R2, Gemma 5, Qwen 4, Gemini 4, and OpenAI Astra, the model that's probably going to be called GPT-6. 13 models, every major lab on Earth, all landing in roughly the same stretch of time. Some of these are basically locked in. Some could completely flip who's winning this race, and two rivalries in particular could blow up overnight. Kimi K3.1 is rumored to beat Fable 5 outright, and GLM 5.5 is rumored to outperform Opus 5. By the end of this video, we're answering one question: which can actually change who's on top? Let's get into it. First up, Gemini 3.5 Pro, and it's in a weird spot. Google is still testing it, but Gemini 4 is already training. Imagine starting a new job, and your replacement is already being interviewed. That's Gemini 3.5 Pro right now. But don't count it out. Gemini 3.5 Flash is built for speed. Pro is built for the hard stuff. Huge code bases, complex multimodal tasks, computer use, long chains of tool calls, agents that don't forget what they're doing halfway through. That last one matters a lot. Coding used to mean writing a nice function in 10 seconds. Now it means understanding a whole project, finding the right files, editing them, running tests, fixing what breaks, and not deleting the database by accident. Gemini 3.5 Pro might not be the flashiest model on this list, but it could be the one you actually use every day. Next, DeepSeek V4-Pro. This one's not a rumor. DeepSeek already updated V4 Flash, and that update told us everything. Same architecture, same size, but way better at coding, tool use, and agent tasks. V4 Pro is expected to get the same treatment, just bigger. The base model already runs around 1.6 trillion parameters. The upgrade should sharpen what people actually feel. Fewer wasted steps, more reliable tools, better coding, better long context, less time spent confidently going down the wrong path. That's not as exciting as a brand new model, but efficiency might matter more. A model that gets the right answer in half the tokens is cheaper and faster. Run that for hours on an agent task and the savings add up fast. This is DeepSeek's superpower. It doesn't need a big launch event. It just quietly updates a checkpoint, drops the price, and the whole industry scrambles. And the rumor floating around right now is that V4 Pro could land close to Fable 5, not just competitive with mid-tier closed models, but genuinely near the top. Nothing confirmed yet. But if it's even close to true, it's another open-weight model knocking on Anthropic's door. Now here's the one to really watch. Kimi K3.1. Kimi K3 is already massive, 2.8 trillion parameters, native vision, a million token context window, long agent runs. But size isn't the story. The story is how close it already is to Claude Fable 5. Moonshot's own numbers still put K3 slightly behind Fable, but barely. In coding, browser tasks, and long software jobs, K3 already competes with closed models and sometimes beats them. Now Moonshot is building K3.1, probably not a whole new model, just the same foundation, sharpened, more coding training, better visual reasoning, more reliable browser use, fewer moments where it's brilliant in exactly the wrong direction. The rumor is that Moonshot thinks K3.1 will beat Fable 5. No public numbers yet, so take that as a rumor for now, but it's believable. K3 doesn't need a huge leap. It's already standing at the edge, and if it crosses that line, this stops being Kimi beat Claude on a chart. It means a free, downloadable model beat the best closed model in the world. And that changes everything. People stop asking why they'd use Kimi instead of Fable. They start asking why they'd pay to rent intelligence they could just download for free. While Kimi is chasing Fable 5, GPU might be chasing something bigger. GLM 5.2 already made a real dent this summer. Strong coding, strong agent performance, and a price that made a lot of people ask why they were paying more elsewhere. Now the rumor is that GLM 5.5 isn't just aiming to be a better GLM, it's aiming to outperform Claude Opus 5, Anthropic's actual top-tier model, not just Fable, no public benchmarks yet. So treat this the same way as the Kimi rumor, plausible, not confirmed. But think about what it would mean if it's true. It's not just an open model catching up to a mid-size closed model anymore. It's an open model going straight for the best thing a closed lab has. If both of these rumors land, Kimi past Fable, GLM past Opus, that's not two separate stories. That's a pattern. That's open-weight models stopping the catch-up game and starting to set the pace. Anthropic isn't just going to watch this happen. That's where Fable 5.1 comes in. Not officially confirmed, but it makes way more sense than jumping straight to Claude 6. Fable 5 is already strong. The hard part now isn't intelligence, it's everything around it. Safety systems, access controls, keeping long sessions stable. So Fable 5.1 might not need to be bigger, just better everywhere else. Fewer pointless refusals, stronger reasoning, cheaper to run, more stable agents. Smarter safety filters that know the difference between a bioweapon question and a biology homework question. So here's the race shaping up. Kimi K3.1 is closing in on Fable 5. Anthropic might just move the goalposts to Fable 5.1 before it gets there. Moonshot isn't the only one building this big. MiniMax is training a new model, around 2.7 trillion parameters. Same weight class as Kimi K3, no name yet. Maybe M4, maybe M3 Pro, maybe something else, because apparently naming these things is its own competition now. What matters? This looks like a real new model, not just an update. MiniMax's current model already does long context, coding, and agents that run for hours, thousands of tool calls in a row. The new one is expected to push all of that further. The big rumor is a new attention system, maybe called MSA 2.0, built to handle huge context windows without the cost exploding. Because a 3 trillion parameter model sounds cool. A 3 trillion parameter model people can actually afford is a real threat. It's a great contrast with Kimi too. Moonshot is trying to win through training. MiniMax is trying to win through raw scale and efficiency. One's betting on a better teacher, the other's betting on a bigger student. 3 trillion parameters is apparently just the entry fee now. Then there's Tencent, next model, maybe Hunyuan 3.5, maybe Hunyuan 4, names unclear. Direction isn't better coding, video understanding, multimodal reasoning, agents, but Tencent has something almost nobody else has, a massive built-in audience, WeChat, Tencent Cloud, gaming, payments, social media. A model plugged into that doesn't need people to go find it. It's already in their hands. Tencent might split it into 2 versions, small open models for developers, and a bigger closed one running inside WeChat. Hunyuan won't get the headlines Gemini or Claude get. But in terms of actual reach, Tencent could be one of the biggest players in this whole race. XAI has more updates coming too. Before Grok 5, Grok 4.6, then 4.7. Probably not new models, just sharper versions of Grok 4.5. Better coding, faster, better real-time data. The strategy is simple. Ship it. Watch how people use it, improve it, ship again. Repeat until we hit Grok 4.937 or somebody just calls it Grok 5. Grok 5 still matters though. It was supposed to be a massive multimodal leap. That timeline already slipped. So for now, Grok 4.x is what's real. Grok 5 is still a promise. Everything so far could land pretty soon. But it's mostly the same generation, just polished, better training, better agents, better safety. What comes next is different. Bigger architecture changes. And we should start with the model that's been almost here forever. DeepSeek R2 is the most rumored unreleased model in AI. Every few months, someone says it's ready. A date shows up, the date passes. Nothing happens. New rumor 5 minutes later, but it matters because R1 changed everything. It proved strong reasoning didn't need to be locked behind expensive American models. R2 could push that further into math, coding, and longer agent tasks. 3 ways this could go. It launches as its own model. It launches as something like V4R, or DeepSeek just drops the name and folds it into V4. That third option looks most likely. V4 already thinks and doesn't think, depending on the task. Its agent skills keep improving. The new V4-Pro might already be doing what R2 was supposed to do, so R2 might still show up. Or maybe we're already watching it arrive, just under a different name. Next big fight, Google versus Alibaba in the open weight world. Gemma 5 isn't official yet, but the idea is simple. Google is building Gemini 4 at the top. Gemma 5 brings a piece of that down to models people can actually run themselves, not on a dying phone with no memory left, on real laptops, workstations, and private servers. Think efficient, multimodal, strong at coding, and doesn't need a data center to run. Qwen 4 might go bigger and bolder. Alibaba could build another massive model, strong at coding, multimodal reasoning, simulation, and Qwen usually comes in layers, small free models, a huge downloadable flagship, and an even stronger one locked behind an API. Gemma 5's question: how much power can we fit into hardware people already own? Qwen 4's question: how big can an open model get before you need a permit to download it? Different strategies. Same result, the closed models get a lot more nervous. Then there's Meta's missing giant. Llama 4 Behemoth was announced as a massive 2 trillion parameter model, the teacher behind the smaller Llama 4 models. Then it just disappeared. Maybe Meta's still building it quietly. Maybe it got folded into another project. Maybe it comes back as Llama 411. Or maybe Meta decided its best models should stay closed from now on. This matters beyond just one model. It's about Meta's whole identity. They built their name on open weights, but building frontier models is getting expensive and risky to release. If Behemoth comes back open, Meta's still a major open source player. If it doesn't, the Llama era might quietly be ending. Meta showed everyone this giant model, then seemingly lost it somewhere in the building, hopefully not next to the metaverse. Gemini 3.5 Pro is close, but Gemini 4 is the real next generation. Google's already training it and calling it the most ambitious model they've ever built. That phrase matters. 3.5 Pro is a product. Gemini 4 is a foundation. Expect a bigger model and much deeper multimodal skills, text, image, audio, video, maybe robotics. But supporting more data types isn't enough anymore. Gemini 4 is expected to focus on world modeling, actually understanding how things move and change over time, not just describing them. That matters for video, robotics, science, and agents that can actually act inside an interface, not just talk about it. Google has one huge edge here. Gemini doesn't have to live inside a chatbot. It's already in Search, Chrome, Android, Workspace, YouTube, Maps, Google Cloud. Gemini 3.5 Pro might be the model you use for hard tasks. Gemini 4 could become the thing that connects all of Google together. Last one, OpenAI Astra. OpenAI already calls it their next major model. An internal version has already produced real math and computer science results that were checked and verified, not just claimed. That tells you what Astra is really for, not slightly better answers in 30 seconds. Long, deep work, exploring different approaches, coordinating multiple agents, checking its own conclusions, and producing results that actually hold up. OpenAI hasn't called it GPT-6. But let's be honest, it either is GPT-6 or it becomes GPT-6. The name might change, could launch as GPT 5.7, could stay its own thing. But calling something your next major model right after GPT 5.6 tells you exactly where this is going. Astra is OpenAI's big bet on long horizon thinking, a model that can work for hours, maybe days, on one hard problem. Gemini 4 might understand the world more deeply. Astra might just keep working inside it until the job is actually done. We're about to see a flood of new names, but not every update is a revolution. Some models get faster. Some get cheaper, some are the same model with better training, and some of these rumors might never show up under the name we're expecting. Short term, watch for Gemini 3.5 Pro, DeepSeek V4-Pro, Kimi K3.1, and GLM 5.5. The most exciting fights are Kimi K3.1 versus Fable 511, and GLM 5.5 versus Opus 5. If either one lands, the entire conversation changes overnight. MiniMax's new model could make all of that even messier. Long term, the two biggest bets are Gemini 4 and OpenAI Astra, probably GPT-6. These are the ones that could define the next era. But here's the thing, the winner isn't going to be whoever has the most parameters, or the highest score on one cherry-picked test. The winner is whoever can work for hours without losing track of the goal, use tools without breaking everything, catch its own mistakes and fix them, actually finish real projects, and do it at a price people can afford. Because this race isn't about the best answer anymore. It's about who can actually finish the job.